All I can say is that the fake news just doesn't get it.
They don't get it. And quite frankly, a big chunk of the fake news overly impressed, too impressed with Joe Biden's skill at negotiating. If you watch cable news today, there's a good chance that you saw somebody swooning about Joe Biden's negotiating ability. He has none. We got nothing out of this. This was a bad, bad deal. It's interesting, Donald Trump actually trained as a negotiator, said he could do it. We all saw him do it, and he did it in a way that not a lot of people appreciate. He was able to get Americans home in very similar circumstances. It was a priority, and nobody else really talked about it, so he had to talk about it, and he did a pretty good job.
I thought I had been forgotten. I nearly gave up hope. I was so afraid.
I believed I would die here.
American hostages, forgotten and wasting away in far-off prisons, wrongfully detained by foreign governments. Americans were beaten, abused, starved, and left for dead. Until President Donald Trump stepped in.
The 3 American hostages finally back on U.S. soil after being held captive in North Korea.
We're following some breaking news in Turkey where an American pastor, Andrew Brunson, has been released.
An American jailed in Egypt is back in the U.S. this morning after an intervention by the Trump administration.
A tough and skilled negotiator, President Trump successfully won the release of detainees and prisoners, among the most of any president in American history. While families waited in despair for news of their loved ones, President Trump provided a new spark of hope by bringing our hostages home.
Some sporadic media coverage, but then it was right back to pounding away, trying to get him on something. There should be more critical coverage of this prisoner swap. I mean, what did America get out of it? Brittany Griner for this arms dealer. That's not happening. And again, Trump did specialize in this. He made it a priority. He told everybody he wanted to get Americans home in 2016, and by the summer of 2020, he was able to say, mission accomplished. We really made progress here. All right, who likes Shark Week? Every summer they have Shark Week on the Discovery Channel. Hey, remember Jaws back in the 1970s? Awesome movie. Kind of quaint by today's standards, though. No big deal. Anyway, Shark Week is like the new Jaws on the Discovery Channel. Again, take a look.
Man, this thing is cool.
Isn't it?
Over the years, I've used all kinds of decoys on Shark Week. We've used countless seal decoys, sea turtle decoys, stingray decoys, even a dolphin decoy. But I've never used a shark decoy. This thing is amazing. Look at it.
El Diablo was a shark that was super curious, but also really quite aggressive.
Looks like fun, right? Anyway, I guess it's not fun. It's racist. Shark Week is racist. This is an actual headline from the Washington Post. Shark Week lacks diversity. Oprah represents men named Mike. Scientists say. This is not a joke, apparently. Is it? Are we sure? Over Mike, scientists say, yeah, and inside the article, scientists say, the Washington Post reports, let's go ahead and put it up on the screen. Research claims that Discovery's program emphasized negative messages about sharks, lacked useful messaging about shark conservation, and overwhelmingly featured white men as experts, including several with the same name. Oh yeah, Mike. The programming featured more white experts and commentators named Mike than women. Shark Week further concentrates power in the form of publicity and media attention in the hands of white male featured scientists, exacerbating academic power imbalances. It's the easiest thing in the world to go around counting faces, what color they are, and saying somehow, "Ooh, look at this. This is a racist place. Too many white people, too many of this, too many of that." It's lazy and it's hateful, of course. And there may be a genuine lack of diversity in the oceanography community, whatever, but that's not Mike's fault. That's not Mike's fault. That's another conversation as to what's really going on there. But don't take it out on Shark Week and don't take it out on Mike. And that's something that Trevor Noah should put in his noggin. This guy, thank goodness is he quitting? Is he retiring? What the problem is, but this sounded pretty racist to me.
First of all, I think it's crazy that she asks if the officer's body cam is on before incriminating herself. Right? Because what was she going to do if the body camera was off? Oh, it's not recording. Quick, Doug, whapping over the head. Let's get out of here. Just hit him. And secondly, I love how she does that thing. Like, if you notice it, she does that thing that white people do where they act like it hurts them to pull rank over you. You see that thing where she's like, do you know, it turns out I'm the chief of police.
The thing that white people do, maybe she did it, but all white people, this is really nasty, hateful stuff. And he's saying it on television. You hear all those idiots in the background laughing. That's racist. That is flat out racist. And, oh, I understand this is his last night on air, and I'm not complaining. Okay, Meghan, what's her name again? Meghan Markle, married to Harry, right? Is he still a prince? So the big documentary is finally on Netflix. I have not seen it yet. Will we watch? Will we watch? Well, let's see if it's worthwhile.
My mom, like, honked her horn because this woman was taking a long time to, like, figure out how to get out, and the woman turned around and screamed the N-word at my mom. I just remember my mom, like, I remember the grip that her hands had on the steering wheel. And like, you could see it was so tight where, like, the knuckles get all white. And she was just silent the rest of the drive home. We never talked about it.
And I thought she was going to trash the Queen. This is some lady on the road 30 years ago said something horrible. So far, I'm not interested. Next.
Harry's choice to wear a Nazi uniform earlier this month to a private party has caused outrage.
It was one of the biggest mistakes of my life. I felt so ashamed afterwards. All I wanted to do was make it right. I sat down and spoke to the chief rabbi in London, which had a profound impact on me. I went to Berlin and spoke to a Holocaust survivor. I could have just ignored it and got on and probably made the same mistakes over and over again in my life. But I learned from that.
Okay, yeah, people have forgotten about this. I remembered it about 2 weeks ago. Harry went out with a Nazi swastika on his shirt there, just for laughs, right? Pretty cute, right? Of course not. And he did that as an adult. He wasn't 10, he was 20. And he goes around lecturing the world about issues of race and how racist everybody else is. Huh. All right, so far, I'm not going to watch it. What about you? I'll be right back.